So I'm Dan, and this is Elizabeth. We're with Beyond the Bedroom, and we are hosting the Quodoushka Level 1 here in Colorado, in the Denver area in September. In fact, September 26th through 29th. So we're very excited about it. And we actually have a new teacher, new to Colorado, I should say, or new to the Quodoushka in Colorado. She's been to Colorado before, and she's been all around the world teaching the Quodoushka. We're very excited to have Amara Charles here. Amara Charles is also the author of Quodoushka, the Sexual Practices of the Quodoushka.
Sorry.
And she can talk about that a little bit more as well. But it's a really cool book talking about a lot of the teachings that actually happen in the Quodoushka Level 1 and then some. So welcome, Amara. We're glad you're here.
Hi, Amara. So happy to be with you.
Oh, it's great to be here. Thank you so much. I'm very excited to share about Quodoushka, the spiritual sexuality teachings, and I really look forward to a great conversation tonight.
Yeah, it's me too. We actually, I've been part of the Quodoushka teachings, or attended, I think 2005 was my first Quodoushka Level 1. And since that time, I've done, I don't know, about a dozen Q1s. We call them Q for short because Quodoushka is quite a bit of a mouthful. I've gone all the way through level 4 on all of those. But this will be the first time that I've actually taken a class with you, Amara. So I'm very excited about that. So why don't you, in a nutshell, tell us a little, before we get into that, I want to say that at the end of this video, we're going to put out a phone number for you to send your emails to, and you will get a $100 off coupon code to attend the Quodoushka, in addition to receive a free download from Amara called, I'm going to get it here.
The 9 erogenous zones.
Yeah, where do I have it? I thought I wrote it.
The 9 erogenous zones of the love game. Yes.
The 9 erogenous zones of the love game. Okay, we forgot that end part. So yeah. I can't wait to get mine because I haven't read it, and I'm going to make use of the free gift. So stick with us. We'll offer you a way to text your phone number to get the email, but we really want to dive in and start the conversation going with Amara. So
great.
We'll leave it over to you and it's not in a nutshell, but as best you can. Can you give us, from a beginner's, we're viewing it from a beginner's mind, what is Quodoushka?
Well, the teachings of Quodoushka are the spiritual sexuality teachings from the Quodoushka, the sweet medicine Sundance path of Turtle Island. And what that means is that they are very, very beautiful ancient teachings that have been brought forward for a modern audience. And so Quodoushka itself, the word Quodoushka, what this means is when two energies, any two energies come together, two people, two friends, two lovers, when these two energies come together, something more is created. And so you could say that Quodoushka means the magical more of what happens anytime we connect. And so the full name is actually Shulakwe Quodoushka. Shulakwe means prana, life force, energy. So Quodoushka, the spiritual sexuality teachings, will completely alter, will completely transform your whole paradigm about what sex even means. What Quodoushka is a shamanic tradition, and what really happens when we experience the Quodoushka 1 is what happens is we have a whole new connection with the source of our Shulakwe, our life force energies. We get connected back to our core energy of who we really are. And we do this in a very sacred, in a very safe, and a very, it's a very exciting, very beautiful, very loving manner. And so that everyone who experiences Quodoushka, as you said, I've been teaching this for 30 years. What happens is you just wake up to a whole new source of energy inside of yourself, really, that's always been there. It's really about reconnecting with the naturalness of who you really are and liberating that natural energy so that we can enjoy our intimacy, we can enjoy pleasure. It's really about learning to use our sexual energy with greater care and with greater wisdom. And most of all, it's about reconnecting again with creation, with nature, because we are nature. So that's a little bit of an overview, and how we do this I'd really like to talk about tonight.
Oh, that's fantastic. So what the way that I describe it is it's a form of sex education that you will never receive from a textbook. You can get little hints and clues and wonderful teachings from this book, but it's very different. I mean, Amara's book is wonderful. You can read about it, but it's an experience when you come to Q Level 1. And it is beyond any scope of teaching that you will ever get in a, well, I don't even know if we have them, Amara, sex ed class. So do you think that's a fair assessment?
Well, I do. And, you know, nowadays, fortunately, there are new sources of how you can learn about sexuality in a safe and sacred manner. But you're correct. I wish that Quodoushka, my dream is that aspects of Quodoushka are taught within the educational system. However, you know, we experience this together and learn together about our sexuality in a way that we were never taught. I mean, it's completely opens the door to greater intimacy, to greater honesty, to greater sensitivity, and to higher levels of orgasm, more pleasure, more beauty, more connection to life. That's what's really missing in the education. And it's kind of why, you know, I've always been outside of the traditional educational system. You know, Quodoushka happens, most of the people who come to Quodoushka, it's an experience, and they come because someone else came and a friend tells them. Like 95% of the people who come and show up in Quodoushka come because somebody experienced this healing, this opening, this reconnection, and they come because a friend told them, you got to go because this is amazing.
Yeah. For me, I had a former partner who told me about it. And I thought it was, this of all the teachings that I've done has been one of the most amazing teachings that I've been a part of, which is why we've hosted it year in, year out. So love the teachings, love the weekend itself. It's a long weekend. So it's a Thursday afternoon starting at 1 o'clock until the evening, and then all day Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So there's a lot of teachings that go along with this.
And there's a lot of rich experience, and you really get a chance to, one of the most fundamental things I think I've heard over and over again, people really go home with. What do they take away? Well, I think the biggest thing is that they learn to talk about what they really want. If you ask people, you know, intimacy within sexuality, you know, what do you really want? Most of the time, often, we're vague or we're not sure. We don't really know what we want. What happens in Quodoushka is you get practice, and practice makes progress. So you practice over and over and over again, really getting in touch with, well, what do I want? How much of what I want is based on what I've had before, maybe, or what I think I should want, or how afraid am I to just really ask for? So we get practice in learning how to ask for what we want. And it's really a lot of fun. And the thing is that when you practice this asking for what you really want, so much more often, this is what you begin to experience in your intimate life and in your sexual life, is like you practice having this deserving feeling like, oh my God, this is okay. And I do deserve pleasure, and I do deserve, and I can ask for what I want. That's what you get practice. And that is what I believe is missing. That's what we're really not taught how to do. I mean, where do you get this kind of practice, this kind of education?
And I think that what you just said is really sticking in my mind. Practice makes progress, because practicing also allows us to not only identify what we like and what we want more of, but what we don't really enjoy so much,
Mhm.
and might leave for like never to experience again. So practice makes progress, and that's why these teachings, I mean, they are the practices of Quodoushka, and they're vast and they're deep. So let's get into some meat and bones, shall we?
Okay. So, well, yeah, tell us a little bit about, some of the things that are actually going to happen at this workshop.
Well, I hope that folks listening tonight will see that there's ways. Hopefully people are listening around the world, and maybe not everyone will come to this particular Quodoushka. But I will say that one of the things that happens in Quodoushka is that we start off and create a very very safe container where people begin to express what they really long for, what they'd like to experience. And we do this in a joyful manner. We create a ceremony together. We create an environment where it's okay to be honest. And that is the most important thing, because that's also one of the things that's oftentimes missing in our education and sometimes in our relationships. So we create a safe container, a safe space where it really feels safe to ask for what you want, to really dare. And I want to mention in the beginning that Quodoushka, yes, there's very serious, very deep healings that occur, but it's not like therapy. It's not like you're going to have to like dig into your past and say everything, that went wrong in your life. Quodoushka is a lot of fun. Why? Because we believe that you can learn through pleasure, that in creating a safe place where it's okay to feel pleasure and allow yourself to feel affection, kindness, gentleness, tenderness, when in this space that begins to open up. So we start off gradually and slowly. We get to know one another a bit in Quodoushka. In the beginning, we tell stories about where we learned about sex and that sort of thing. And then we step into exercises. And Quodoushka, by the way, is open to singles and couples and all gender preferences. We are very open and tolerant space, and we have all different ages of people coming. It's always the right time to learn. It is never too late to learn. And so we've had people in their early 20s coming to Quodoushka, and in their early 80s and 90s even, and so everything in between. So we start off, we do various exercises together. Now, what kind of exercises? Well, we do things to balance our chakras, for example. We give teachings about how to enhance the energy of your chakras so the energy starts to move through your body. Okay, so it's not only intellectual, you're going to learn about chakras, you're going to feel them opening up. You're going to feel more energy moving through your body. Now, some of the exercises, you choose different partners throughout the program. If you come with your life partner, you can do the entire Quodoushka with their partner and use the time to deepen your intimacy and get really, really close, really intimate. You can come as a single, and you can work with a variety of partners. And just one funny aside about that, about working with different partners. It's one of my favorite things about Quodoushka. Many people have told me that they experience a lifetime of experience. And in some cases, I know this might sound a little funny, but they experience like what could happen in like 9 or 10 years of therapy. There's so much experience that you have with different partners that you're going to see yourself. You're going to see, oh my goodness, this is what I do. I shy away, or I won't go for what is really attractive to me. Like if I see somebody really attractive, it's like, oh, I won't connect with them. Well, you're going to get a practice in Quodoushka of like noticing your attractions and finding out. You're going to learn tools to build the courage and the confidence. And then you're going to learn how to approach who you are attracted to. You're going to learn how to, what I love to say is this: you're going to learn how to find your real yeses. Okay? Your real yeses. And in some cases, your real no's. You're going to discover the difference between what are your no's of like, no, this doesn't feel what I want to do right now. You're going to get to practice that. It's okay. There's nothing in Quodoushka that you ever have to do. We want you to find your real yeses and your real no's. But how many of those no's are just habitual and they're just reactions and they're just made up and they're really because you're too afraid or too shy or something like this. So you're going to get the chance to practice finding your own real yeses. And that's going to change your entire intimacy, sex life, not just at the workshop itself. Because when I teach Quodoushka, I am all about, what are you going to take home? You know, I don't want people to come to Quodoushka and have this whoosh, this great experience. Yes, it is a blast. It is so much fun. You get really close. People stay friends. It really builds a beautiful community. But the reason I do this and the reason I've taught Quodoushka now for over 30 years is because I want people to have lasting change in their intimate relationships. And that's what I want to promote so that I can help people. We can help people. There's a great team in Quodoushka. I teach with a fabulous team. We have assistants and all kinds of things. So that you can take this home and learn how to communicate with your lover or your lovers. You know, what do you really want? You get to practice. You get that in your body. How can I make a sexual agreement? So that's one of the things that we cover very carefully in Quodoushkas is how do I make an agreement? How do I say yes? How do I get to my yes? How do I find out what I really want? We talk about that. And also, you know, again, how do I say no in a really clean and clear and honest way? And that is absolutely life-changing. And that's just one of it. So if you don't mind, I'm going to go back to your original question. Is that okay?
Absolutely.
Okay. So you asked, like, what kind of things do we do? It's not all about talking. So we're going to do exercises to clear the chakras, to boost the energy. We're going to do breathing practice. We're going to be doing something called the fire breath, where you use your breath, the most important thing in our sexuality. And we teach all about this. And we show you how to breathe, to amplify, and to increase your sexy, juicy energy. And it's just extraordinary. I'm so excited about this because you can learn to use your breath in a gentle, in a healing manner to heighten the orgasticness, the intensity, the feeling of your orgasm. And that happens because of the way that you breathe. So you're going to learn ways to breathe solo. Some of the exercises are solo, that you learn these practices yourself. And some of them you take together with a partner so that you can learn to use your breath in something we call chakra merging, where you take this breath and you share this with a partner and you amplify your energy, your orgastic energy together. And there's all
here about you're going to be, because I think one of the beauties for me is that while you're experiencing that exercise within your own body, you're still in the group container. So, I mean, there's also that group energy.
Oh, yes.
While you're learning to feel and express and move this through your body. So
yes, we do this as a community, as a team, and you're going to find out that, you know, of course our sexuality is very private, okay? But when we are in the collective, what happens over and over is that we actually become a team for one another's beauty, to allow the beauty to come out, a safe place where it is okay to feel whatever we're feeling. And so in this way, we support one another to grow and to learn at our own pace. But before I continue, I want you to mention a little bit about what we are offering so that we can have people stay on and hear about this very special offer.
Yeah, so as we said before, if you stay on towards the end of the presentation or the talk here, we're going to give you a phone number that you can send in with your email address, and then from that we will send you a discount code.
You text
text to that number an email And then we will respond with a discount code that's $100 off of the Quodoushka one that's coming up in September.
The current pricing for Quodoushka one.
Yes, and so we also I also wanted to extend this gift of the 9 erogenous zones of the love game, and this is actually it's an audio, and it's a guided, really fun and very sexy audio that will give you some hints and some clues about how to find and excite the erogenous zones of your lover in a way that works for men and in a way that works for women. So that's my gift, and I really hope you enjoy that. It's a lot of fun, and people say they really, really enjoy it.
That's cool. Fantastic. Again, I can't wait to listen. Is it in your voice?
Right, and sending that. And what's that?
Is it in your voice?
Oh, of course. Of course, yes. It's me.
Okay, wonderful.
Yes, of course.
I want to go back to what you said earlier. One of the things, I work with women privately, and one of the biggest problems they have is being able to say no. And they'll say yes oftentimes when they don't really know that their no is truly a no. And so I love that you talked about that. If you know that your no is really a no, then you can truly say a yes. And you can't if you don't know that. And so that's really a great teaching that will be offered, right? And I really appreciate that and acknowledge that. Also, asking for what you want. So many women come to me and they just don't know what they want. They don't know how to ask for it. They feel an obligation. They don't know that pleasure can be for themselves as well. So I think that's hugely, hugely valuable.
Yes.
We practice this in the workshop.
Yes, and one of the other highlights that I do want to make sure we get time to talk just a little bit about tonight, and that is one of the favorite things in the Quodoushka book. People flip through the book, and of course there's these beautiful drawings of the different anatomy types. And what I hear from mothers and fathers, people all over the place, they just leave it on the coffee table so that their teenagers, they'll open the book and they'll just start to learn. I'm really all about learning about how can we teach our children a wholesome and healthy and respectful and fun way to learn about the most beautiful energy on the planet. As far as I'm concerned, our sexual energy is a gift. Our sexual energy is so beautiful. And that's really the essential message of Quodoushka, is that our sex is natural, our sex is healthy, and our sex is good when we learn to use it with care and respect. And that is what happens when people, one of my favorite parts about Quodoushka, I'm really excited to share about this. We share and teach people that we each have a unique sexual anatomy type. Okay. And while I don't have time to go into this teaching tonight, you can find, you can read about it in the book. And in Quodoushka, we go into, really great, beautiful depth so that, you leave Quodoushka knowing your own sexual anatomy type. Now, why is this, what good is this? Why is it so cool? Why is it so important to know your sexual anatomy type? Now, I know, Elizabeth, that you have a lot, to say before I share about that. Why is it so cool and so valuable to learn your own sexual anatomy type? Before I go into that, is there any questions or anything you want to add to this, Elizabeth?
Well, quite honestly, I'm right there with you. So let me just preface by saying I used to be a sex therapist, and I willingly walked away from my license, knowing that the teachings of the Quodoushka and other non-academic sexuality educational workshops, books, they went far beyond anything that I ever learned in a textbook. And in particular for me, and the other people I've been with in the many Quodoushkas that I've hosted or participated, learning about your genital anatomy type blows away any other teaching about, for me, my own anatomy. Because for me, it was the first time that I learned that there are a whole variety of shapes, sizes, and colors. And knowing that all of that, the wide range, the diversity. So I have a vulva. So the diversity of vulvas just was so calming and soothing, and just presented so gracefully that I was, from that point on, and I learned this, my first Quodoushka was when I was 48. I never felt shame about what I thought prior to that was unattractive, needed to be hidden, and was a source of shame for me, because I'm bigger than what's represented in porn or in any sort of mainstream media. So the teachings, that particular teaching is that changed my world.
Yes, thank you. That's beautiful, Elizabeth, because I think that's one of the most important and most life-changing aspects of Quodoushka. That I so agree with you, that the shame that we carry, the insecurity, the comparisons, and really it's based upon things that we are making up and that we've never seen, and we don't know, and we don't understand. So the way we teach about the sexual anatomy types for both men and for women, because my experience is that, believe it or not, in my experience, men have as many insecurities. Of course, many men and many women too, are very proud, and Quodoushka is many people come to Quodoushka who absolutely love sex and they love intimacy, and yet there's these layers. I'm talking about the more subtle layers of shame for both men and for women, that we don't even know how much this layer of armoring shame prevents us from expressing all of who we are. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's so many things that we can learn, and we human beings, in my opinion, we love to learn. I love to learn. Okay. And when our sexual shame is lifted, especially those subtle layers, and we can look at our bodies and we can go, wow, beautiful. And I can guarantee you that when you have the experience of understanding what Elizabeth is saying, that we celebrate the diversity, we teach about the diversity. And it's not only the appearance, because now I want to go into a little brief teaching about why this is so cool to know. For one thing, it's going to make you a much better lover. Okay. When you know your own type, what it begins to do is you're going to find out, because of the anatomy, and I'm talking now about the physiological anatomy, what this anatomy, the physiological structure of our genitals tells us, essentially in a nutshell, is that for some types, all of the erogenous zones, for example, the head of the clitoris is an erogenous zone. The opening of the vulva is an erogenous zone. For gentlemen, the tip of the penis is an erogenous zone. Okay, so there's these various erogenous zones. I won't go into all of them right now, but we teach about them. And basically, essentially, structurally, when the erogenous zones are very close, they're all close together. Essentially, when it takes very little to stimulate all of these erogenous zones for some anatomy types with very small movements, okay, with very little. So some women, for example, they can have an orgasm in 2 minutes, and other women on a typical day, it can take them more than a half an hour. Well, knowing the difference of your sexual anatomy just releases that shame. Hey, there's nothing wrong with me. I have an anatomy that is different. And we say in Quodoushka that no anatomy type is right for any other type, and that the anatomy, our natural anatomy type, that's our starting point. But any woman and any man, no matter what their anatomy type is, can enhance the qualities that they do have, and really love those qualities and learn to use those qualities. And this is true for men also. Mm-hmm. we all know that there's a range. You know, there might be insecurity about being more shallow, short, or thinner. Some men are much thicker. Some are very, very long. And believe it or not, you know, the gentlemen who have, you know, very large penises, they have just as many challenges as those gentlemen that have maybe very narrow or very short. And we give teachings that empower you, that show you how to use what you got. You got to work with the armor you have. You got to work with what you have. You got to start with the natural self. You got to start loving your natural self and finding out, like, for example, I'll give you an example for the women. A woman who is there, and they're all named, by the way, you'll see in the book, they're all named after these beautiful animals. Why? Because we have different natures, and they associated these with the different anatomy types. So there's something called a wolf woman, for example. Now, what do you know about a wolf? Okay, what do they like to do at the moon? Okay. So, yeah, I mean, there's a certain structure. I won't go into the teachings. You can see the pictures in the book. And there's a certain anatomy type that this woman, she loves to howl during lovemaking. That's just one example. And so I have met wolf women, however, and this is an example of how the teachings of your natural self can be so empowering. I have met wolf women who are structurally, anatomically, I can see they're a wolf woman, okay? By the way they describe and so forth. So a wolf woman, I've met wolf women who are completely silent. They never even make a peep. And that might be because they've learned this and they grew up in that household and it wasn't okay to make a sound. And when a wolf woman learns that, wait a minute, that's your naturalness. Hey, I'm a wolf woman, okay? And we teach with all the types. You can be a bear woman, a fox woman, a cat woman, and buffalo woman, or a horse man, a bear man, you know, or a pony man. You know, there's all these beautiful, beautiful types, okay? They're all fantastic, okay? And when you learn that what type you are, it's like, whoa, I'm a wolf woman. You know, you just start off in that little, first maybe it starts like a hum, and then it turns into a howl, and you find out that, wow, the sound of my orgasticness actually increases my pleasure. Now, I believe that all women, you know, can enjoy making sound, but particularly for the wolf woman, that's her naturalness. And that's what Quodoushka is all about, is finding who you are naturally. Okay. And it's so beautiful. It's so beautiful.
You give them the teachings, give them permission to go on that quest to learn more about that naturalness.
Yes.
And also permission to really own the fact that you're different, not different, good or bad. There's no value, a judgment there. It's different. And that, I think, knowing that is there and present, it is in nature. So why do we think we're immune from that? It opens the possibility for so much more joy and pleasure.
Yes, it is so true. So true, Elizabeth. And, you know, I hope you feel that way too, Dan. You know, we're talking a little bit about the ladies here, but I have found it's just every bit as profoundly heart-opening for that's my experience with the men, is that, you know, their heart opens and their heart connects with their whole body, and they learn how to move from Quodoushka to be a wholehearted lover, if you will, a whole human being, and making love with passion, with sensitivity, with awareness, and with care. And that's what Quodoushka, in every which way, you know, the teachings will bring you to that place of deeper understanding of why do we shut down so often.
Yep.
You know,
one of the things that I've noticed for the men is it normalizes who they are and what they are, because, you know, men have, you know, where have we seen other penises? It's, you know, whether it's in the shower in, you know, high school or on porn, you know, we're thinking that, you know, we've got to be like this, and we're not, all of us. And the men who were shortest, it really normalized for them that they weren't wrong or bad. You know, they were normal. They there's different ways that they can please women and they can please themselves, and they can be happy with that.
Yes.
Just same with the very big men. They've got a lot of problems too. Like you said, they have as much shame and trauma around the size of their penis as the men who are much shorter. And then everything that's in between, there's just ways to normalize how it works for you and how you can interact with your female partners. So
Yes.
I think it's been
whatever
absolutely, and Dan, it not only normalizes it, it's deeply empowering, because if you cannot love yourself, I know this sounds trite, but if you can't really like all the parts of your own body, how is it then when we come together with another, what we want to do is not only just talk about and say, yes, I love myself and all of this. That's important. It's to eliminate that negative self-talk, that little shitty committee in there that puts ourselves down and keeps it quiet, while we have beautiful and profound ways that you will cellularly change your memory. So that inner talk inside where you put yourself down, that perpetuates the shame and perpetuates the insecurity and the doubt and all of that. We replace that inner self-doubt and lack of confidence and insecurity and all of that with beauty, with power, with teachings that show you that you are fantastic, that you are a beautiful human being, that every person on the planet deserves to have pleasure. What I like to say is that, Great Spirit did not design us such that, okay, these people over here, they deserve a lot of pleasure, and these people over there, nope, not so much. We are all cells in Great Spirit's body. We are all spirits who have come here to experience being a human being. Mm-hmm. And one of the most beautiful things about being a human being that I know I myself don't want to leave the planet without having experienced the fullness of the beauty of who I am as a woman, and to experience the beauty of who men are and who we are together, and to have beautiful and healing and healthy sexuality. So in Quodoushka, we introduce an aspect of sexuality that is totally different than just education. Mm-hmm. And it's really about how can we use our sexuality to be a healing force. Well, that starts with ourselves.
Yeah. Well, and pleasure heals, like you said way back. There's so many things that pleasure affords the body.
Yes.
Calming, reduces heart rate, strengthens cardiovascular system. Yes. Learning about this type, learning in this type of manner really allows that embodiment of who you are. So it's not just a thinking thing, it's a real embodiment. It's a real embodiment of who you are as a sexual being. And I wanna another way that I describe the Quodoushka Level 1 is that each person who attends learns about who they are as an individual sexual being in the body that they're walking around with.
Yeah.
So, this is all about learning. So me as an attendee, about me. For Dan, it's all about learning who he is. And you learn about that in the presence of an amazing support of your community and these amazing teachers.
Yes.
Include, so besides Amara, there's going to be two other teachers, Karen Krause and Michael Stein.
Yep.
Yes, they're great teachers, and I love teaching with them. And I just want to share a little story. I just did a Quodoushka here in Santa Fe, and we stay in touch afterwards. And so he just sent me a text, and I share this story because this Quodoushka isn't only just affecting your sex life. Like when you have a better connection with yourself, when you have a more loving feeling, connected feeling within the energy of your body, within your body, okay? This gentleman was, he was really overweight, and he spoke about that, and he spoke about that wasn't wasn't making him very happy, especially in his love life, right? Well, we don't even talk about weight loss because there's plenty of other places you can go to. But he just texted me. He said he lost 10 pounds after doing the Quodoushka. And I hear this over and over again. People, step into new relationships. They complete. I don't want to say you're going to find your soulmate, because you may find your soulmate, and you also may complete a relationship in beauty. I don't know, but it changes your path in life. You get in touch with, wait a minute, what do I want to do in life? That's just what happens when you get in touch with that life force energy. You realize, wow, I'm alive. Life is precious. What kind of relationship do I want? What kind of a career do I want? What do I want? How do I want to repair my relations with my family? All kinds of healings happen. And this is because when we return and we restore to the innocence of our sexual connection with each other, then things begin to balance, begin to heal. And we begin to see the places in our lives where we can't afford to keep going on in the same old way. There's a lot of changes that happen once you experience Quodoushka.
Yeah, that's the ripple effect is, far wide and far reaching.
Mm-hmm. Definitely life lessons.
Yes. And so, do you have any, final questions or things that you want to mention before we come to?
We want to make sure to reiterate that the Quodoushka is level 1, is open to singles, and men, women, all genders, thereof, and it's a very, very welcoming community. What might you say to someone who's a little trepidatious about coming to this alone?
Well, first of all, I want to say that the Quodoushka teachings come from the sweet medicine Sundance path of Turtle Island, and that they're part of a much broader range of teachings that not only include Quodoushka. There's beautiful teachings that you can find from this tradition. And so somebody who has a little bit of trepidation is, for one thing, when Karen and I teach Quodoushka together, we do like to talk to every person who comes. And we do this in one part, it's just a brief little bit of a conversation to get to know you and to see if you have any questions or, any trepidations, really. And, some people are like, no, I don't want to know a thing. I just want to be surprised. I've heard about it. I know it's a safe place. I'm just coming, and please don't say anything. Other people, they want to know really in detail. So we do take the time to really to talk to you about whatever concerns. And believe me, for the last 30 years, I have heard many, sincere trepidations. Yeah. I do believe that, after my experience of teaching Quodoushka and spiritual sexuality for over 30 years, I believe that we're still really fragile when it comes to sex. I still am. And I'm not going to lose that. I like that tenderness and sweetness. And so we do take great care and great time, and we talk to virtually almost every person who attends. And the other thing is just, we really make sure that you're ready for this. And then when we all get together, everybody, knows a little bit about, what is going to occur. Because we just want to make sure that this is really right for you and you're excited about coming. And it also, gives us a way to connect before the workshop starts. So that's one of the things. The other thing is that, as I said in the beginning, for those who have a little bit of trepidation, first of all, that fear is, sexuality is a huge energy. It's a huge part of our life. And this is an unknown situation. So it does require courage to come. And so, call us up or find, there's other people, there's testimonials on the website, there's videos, you can ask us questions. And so, you can find out as much as you like about Quodoushka. But I would say that the biggest thing, really the biggest thing when I talk to people that have a little bit of trepidation, and I figure that if you're calling me, or if you're checking it out, there's a little speck of curiosity. There's this little place inside of you that really, really wants to come.
Yeah, I would agree.
And that is just so curious, but maybe afraid. And I really, really understand that. And I do understand how like huge this can be. For some people, it's like, yeah, great. And for other people, it's like, I don't think I can do this. And what I say to those people is listen to that voice that you have inside. Just come. Just come. You're going to be taken care of. I promise you. That is my most important concern. I wouldn't do this for over 30 years unless I felt and knew that I am going to do, and our whole staff is going to take care, that you are cared for, that you matter, that we will get to know one another, that any fears that you have, that they can be addressed, and you're going to have someone really, in some cases, just holding your hand, and even some people are afraid to just dance. And that, you're going to have support. That's what it's all about, to step into these new places, so that these places that maybe have been hurt and maybe they're scared, they can have a safe place to heal and to be safe again. And you're going to be surrounded by support. The whole staff has been doing this for a long, long time. And we care about every single person that comes to Quodoushka. And as I said before, I promise you there will never be anything that you will ever be asked to do that you don't want to do. We don't want you to do that. We want you, again, to find those little baby steps of what feels good to you and make that. Remember that practice is progress, and we want you to have progress.
And also, remind people, if after being more informed and educated about what the Quodoushka is and what they could expect, if they come up with a no, they are so held in that space with great honor by everybody. Because that's the way, that is a teaching.
Absolutely, there could be an absolute breakthrough, breakthrough, because some people, like, they have never said no when they wanted to for a long, long time. That happens often. Yeah. And those places are brought up, and there's breakthroughs that happen. There are private breakthroughs that happen for like every single person. You're going to have your private breakthroughs.
Yeah. Wonderful. So
we should go ahead and announce give the phone number. So for those of you who have stayed on board, thank you for that. So text your email address to 720-730-8690, and we'll send you an email with your coupon code and the free gift for joining us tonight. And that free gift again.
That was a little fast, Dan. So could you do that again more slowly?
Hang on.
We'll put it in the comments section.
Yep. Okay.
But you will be getting also the 9 erogenous zones for the love game by Amara Charles. So you guys keep talking, and I will post it in here.
So the coupon code is going to be up there. We have on the feed, we have already put the link as to how and where you get tickets. We have some on-site accommodations, and those are I believe you can get all the information using the link that has been posted. The discount code that will come in your email is available for the next 5 days. And it's $100 off the current price.
For this Quodoushka in September.
Only for this.
And that's only going on for 5 days, right?
Yes.
Right.
For the next 5 days.
Valid
for the next 5 days, you can come to Quodoushka, and you'll have our gift of $100 coupon, and then we'll get a chance to spend beautiful, sacred time together. So we hope that some of you that are just hearing about Quodoushka learned a little bit. We have Quodoushka graduates all around the world who have experienced Quodoushka 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I just want to mention that, there's you can find out, I'm not going to go into it now, you can find out about the website. There's a level 2, level 3, and a level 4. Level 4 Quodoushka is fantastic. You have to do 1, 2, 3 so you can attend 4, but that is happening this year. It's quite rare. It's happening in November. So there is a Q4 happening in November.
They need to
and I know that there's a Q2 happening in August as well, in Phoenix, I believe, by Karen and Michael.
And then for those wanting to come to the Winter Wonderland, Dan and I will again be supporting Quodoushka Level 2, actually for the first time here in Colorado. So 2019 has a lot of firsts for the Colorado support team. But again, as Amara said, there is a prerequisite. You have to do each level in sequential order, and the teachings just get more and more powerful.
Beautiful, beautiful.
But I also want to say that there's some people who never take a Quodoushka 2, but they are repeats of Quodoushka 1 3 and 4 times.
Yes, so, beautiful, beautiful.
You know, there's no pressure to advance, if you will, even though they're not advancing, they're totally different.
Well, they're very different, yes, and maybe we'll have another Facebook Live and we'll talk about those differences. But I really enjoyed talking with you, Dan and Elizabeth. We really made this very nice, very easy. I feel like this is fantastic because we're meeting for the time. For me, for the first time, you many years, Karen and Michael many years, but I'll be, and I love Colorado, so I'm very excited. I'm very excited about this Quodoushka.
Yeah, and I've heard so much about you as a dynamic female duo teaching team with Karen, and I can't wait to be in the classroom with you, and then outside of the classroom supporting you, and Michael as well. So. Make use of the phone number that we've provided, text, so that you can then get the email that will have all of these juicy tidbits in it. And we just hope to see as many of you who we've turned on to the Quodoushka, so that you can learn more about your personal, your own turn on. So anything, Dan's typing away madly.
Trying to.
Okay.
So, yeah, Karen's on. So yay, Karen, I see you. She says she's so excited.
And Natalie, yes, please share. You know, if you know somebody who might be interested in attending this Quodoushka, please share this with them. No, the discount is not go on to the Q2. It's only for the current prices of the Quodoushka Level 1.
Here in Colorado.
Here in Colorado. Yeah, the Quodoushka is all over the world. I mean, they do it in Australia, they do it in Europe, they do it around the United States.
I was just in Prague, and I'm going to Sweden and Amsterdam. I mean, it's all over the world.
It's growing because people are hungry for information that they've never received. So,
well,
I mean,
yes, and we're very happy to bring it to Colorado. And we're just gonna have a fantastic queue. And I will say that it is filling up. So if you are interested, there are spaces left. But this 5-day period, you're gonna go ahead and get $100 coupon and all of that. So we just want to have more people come, and because it's a beautiful thing to experience together. And for those of you who are coming, I can't wait to meet you.
Yes, us as well. We will also have another one of these Facebook Lives. This is our first one at this, first attempt at this. And we will have Karen Kraus, who's one of the other teachers. So, you know, look forward to doing that in a couple weeks.
Yeah, that's going to be on Sunday. I think it's the Sunday, August 19th. It's the Sunday. So I think it's August 19th, but you all will hear about it. We have plenty of time. Oh,
August 19th is a Monday.
Okay. Nope. It's Sunday, August 18th, but you know, we'll let this one float in the air. So, you know, we'll figure out the different ways that we're going to pull information out of Karen.
Dan, just one final time, just say that number again and post it again so people make sure to find it. Thank you all very much. I'm going to jump, and it was really,
hold on one second, because you can't jump until we say the number. Yep. So it's 720-730-8690. And you have to text your email address to that phone number so that we can then email our staff, our team, because a dream team makes the dream happen. Hopefully I said that the right way. Our team will send out the information that we've promised.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great. Thank you, Amara. It was great talking with you.
Thanks so much.
Good
night.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Good time.
Ciao.